Good afternoon, Miss Duffy. This is my reflection on Krivkors and early American identity. My name is Kaiden Dinkins, and this is my video reflection on Hector St. John de Krivkor description of Americans in the late 18th century and the fractures in early American society based on the American Yap chapters 6 and 7. Okay. First, Krivkor identified several key factors that, in his view, made a person American. First, he identified the idea of transformation. He believed Americans were people who worked the land and became self-reliant through the process. Second, he highlighted religious freedom and tolerance as essential parts of American life, especially compared to persecution common in Europe. Thirdly, he noted that Americans were people from many different European backgrounds who had shed their old identities to become something new. A unified, practical, and free people. I think the factors made sense at the time, and they do reflect a lot of what was happening in the colonial revolutionary America. However, they left out a large portion of the population. Krivkor's view mostly applied to white Americans, like white European men. The enslaved Africans, indigenous people, and many more poor laborers didn't experience that same opportunity or freedom. So while his description was partly accurate, it was also incomplete and idealized. Today, the ideas of freedom, diversity, and opportunity are still central to American identity, but we now recognize that these values must include everyone, not just a select group. As for the fractures in American society, the most significant one, in my opinion, was the existence of slavery. It completely contradicted the ideals of liberty and equality that Krivkor praised. Slavery was deeply rooted in the Southern economy and created a racial and moral divide that shaped nearly every part of American life. I absolutely believe that the legacy of slavery still plays a role in American society today. I do. We see it in ongoing racial disparities in education, housing policies, and wealth, which is very true. The deep racial divides that began in the 18th century have never fully disappeared. And understanding this history is key to addressing those inequalities now.